Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Camp podcast. I'm Adam, and I'm really happy you're here with us today. Maybe you're on your way somewhere, maybe you're relaxing at home, or maybe you're hungry right now. That would actually be perfect for today's topic.
And I'm Sarah. It's great to have you with us again. Wherever you are, walking, cooking, cleaning, or hiding from responsibilities, thank you for spending this time practicing English with us. We're really glad you're here.
Today's episode is all about restaurants. Going out to eat, ordering food, talking to waiters, asking questions, making small mistakes, feeling hungry, feeling shy, feeling confused, and all of that in English.
Restaurants are fun, but if English is not your first language, they can feel intimidating. Waiters talking fast, menus full of strange words, people waiting behind you, long descriptions like crispy, honey-drizzled, oven-baked, something. You're like, can someone please just show me a picture?
Yes, and the worst moment is when the waiter comes to your table and says, "Hi, can I get you something to drink?" And your brain suddenly becomes a Windows XP computer. Loading, frozen.
Yes, restaurants make your English forget it has a job. And our goal today is to make everything comfortable, natural, and simple. So next time you go to a restaurant, you'll feel confident, relaxed, and maybe even a little proud.
Before we continue, if you're enjoying these long, natural episodes, we'd love it if you subscribed. It really helps the podcast grow and helps more English learners discover these warm conversations.
All right, let's walk into this episode together. Adam, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about going to a restaurant?
Honestly, hunger and panic. Hunger because food, obviously. Panic because I always feel like ordering in another language is a mini performance. I want to be confident, but I always end up pointing at the menu like a 5-year-old.
Same. There's something about menus that makes your brain panic. And some menus use poetic language. Like, instead of saying chicken, they say farm-raised, golden herb-infused roasted bird. And you're sitting there like, is this a zoo?
Exactly. And when you don't understand something, you don't want to ask too many questions because you don't want to look confused.
But it's totally okay to ask. For example, a super useful question is, what does this come with? It means, what's included?
Yes, if you see grilled salmon, you can ask, does it come with rice? Or does it come with vegetables?
You can also say, can you recommend something? This is great when your brain is melting and the menu looks like a novel.
Another great expression is, do you have any specials today? Specials means food that's not on the regular menu, usually fresh or discounted.
And this is important. If the waiter asks, how would you like your steak cooked? They're not being philosophical. They're asking the temperature. Rare, medium, medium well, well done.
I once ordered a steak rare because I thought it meant special. I didn't know it meant very, very red inside. I was not emotionally ready.
That's why we're here, to save people from traumatizing steak experiences. Another good restaurant word is substitute. It means to replace something. For example, can I substitute salad for fries? Meaning, give me salad instead of fries.
Yes, you can also say, can I get this without cheese? Or, can I have the sauce on the side? On the side means the sauce comes separately, not on top of your food.
Very useful for people who fear sauce commitment.
And one of my favorite phrases is, could I have a minute? Perfect when the waiter comes too early and your brain says, I need to think. Please don't look at me.
And after you order, there's that classic restaurant question. Everything okay here? Or, how's everything tasting? You don't have to give a speech. Just say, great, thank you, even if your life is falling apart.
Yes. And if something is wrong, you can politely say, sorry, I think this is undercooked. Or, I didn't order this. Or, could I get some extra napkins? Not dramatic, just normal.
And at the end of the meal, the scariest moment arrives. The bill.
The bill decides if you'll have a beautiful evening or a small financial crisis.
You can ask, could we get the check, please? Check in American English. Bill in British English.
And don't forget the word split. Can we split the bill? Meaning divide the cost.
Also, do you take cards? Meaning, do you accept credit or debit cards?
Or is service included? Sometimes tips are already part of the bill.
See, restaurants seem scary at first, but once you know the vocabulary and the flow, they become fun.
And delicious.
And emotional.
And dangerous for your wallet.
Always.
All right. I think we're warmed up. Let's go into a real-life restaurant scenario and see how everything actually sounds.
Yes, let's take our listeners into the experience. The waiting area, the host, the menu, ordering, everything.
Ready?
Let's do it.
All right, imagine this. You and I are standing outside a restaurant. The sign says Italian Kitchen. There's warm yellow light coming from inside. People are laughing, plates are clinking, and you feel that tiny moment of stress where you think, okay, now what do I say?
Yes, that moment is always dramatic for English learners. You open the door, someone looks at you, and your brain goes, should I say hi? Should I say hello? Should I smile? Should I pretend I'm invisible?
So we walk in, and the host comes to the podium with the classic restaurant smile.
Hi there. Welcome. Do you have a reservation?
Here we go, the first test. I'd say something like, no, we don't. Do you have a table for two?
Perfect. Simple. Beautiful. And the host checks the screen like they're hacking into NASA.
Every host on Earth types dramatically. Tap, 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 thinking, reading, thinking. It's like they're solving a murder case.
Yes. Then they finally look up and say, sure, right this way.
And now you follow them through the restaurant like a child on their first day of school, smiling awkwardly at strangers who are already eating.
They sit us down and hand us the menus. Here's where the real challenge begins, understanding the menu.
Menus are wild. You read things like pan-seared salmon with a drizzle of lemon reduction. And you're like, so fish with lemon?
Exactly. Or oven-baked, herb-infused potatoes. And you're like, a potato. It's a potato.
Menus make everything sound dramatic. Water would become crystal purified liquid of life.
I'd buy that, actually.
Same.
So the waiter comes to our table. Hi, folks. Can I get you something to drink?
And this is where many people freeze. But you can say something super simple. Yes, could I have some water, please? Or, I'll take an iced tea. Or, I'd like a sparkling water.
And if you're not ready, just say, could we have one more minute?
A life-saving sentence. So we order drinks. Let's say I ask for lemonade.
Perfect. Then the waiter asks, are you ready to order or do you need more time?
And we panic because the menu still looks like a book of spells.
Yes. And the questions begin. Common ones like, what does this come with? Is this spicy? Is the portion big? What's the most popular dish?
And the waiter always says something vague like, "Oh, everything is good," which is zero help.
0. We need details, sir. Details. So I say, could you recommend something? This is the magic question. Waiters love this question.
They do. They get excited. "Oh, well, personally, I love the pasta with creamy mushroom sauce." Every waiter becomes a food poet when you ask for recommendations.
Yes. And then the moment of ordering arrives. I look at the menu and say, I think I'll have the roasted chicken with vegetables.
And I'll say, "I'd like the spaghetti bolognese, please."
If you want something removed or added, you can say, could I get this without onions? Or could you substitute salad for fries?
And if you want the sauce separately, say, "Can I have the sauce on the side?" Then the waiter repeats your order like a mini quiz. So that's the roast chicken and the spaghetti bolognese.
And we say, yes, even if we're 70% sure we didn't pronounce anything correctly.
Then the waiter disappears and the waiting begins. And you start making small talk, looking around, staring at other people's food like a hungry detective.
You always see something you wish you ordered instead.
Yes, you see someone eating a dish that looks like heaven. And you tell yourself, why? Why didn't I order that?
Classic food regret.
The waiter finally comes back with the food, and the moment you smell it, you forget every problem in your life.
And before they leave, they ask, is everything okay here?
And even if your chicken is fighting for its life, you say, "Yes, thank you."
Every time. Except when something is really wrong. Then you can say politely, sorry, I think this is undercooked. Or, I didn't order this.
Or, "Could I get a new fork? Could I get a little more water? Could we get some extra napkins?"
Small requests, totally normal. Restaurant English is not complicated. It's just small, simple sentences.
After eating, there's one more moment, another dramatic moment, the bill.
You make eye contact with the waiter, and you know it's time.
You can say, "Could we get the check, please?" Or in British English, "Could we have the bill?"
And if you're with friends, can we split the check? Meaning divide it.
Exactly. Then the waiter brings the bill and leaves quickly so you can privately cry about the price.
And if you want to pay by card, just say, do you take cards? Or can I pay by card?
And if you want to leave a tip, you can say, "I'd like to leave 15%. Or, "I'll add the tip on the card."
And then you stand up, leave the restaurant, and congratulate yourself for surviving the English restaurant experience.
And you feel proud. You used real English in a real situation. That's a big win.
I think our listeners are ready for the final part, the bigger phrases, confidence tips, and some emotional comfort for shy speakers.
Yes, let's wrap this episode with a warm, confidence-boosting finish.
You know, Sarah, the interesting thing about restaurants is that they're supposed to be relaxing places. You go there to eat, to enjoy your evening, to feel good. But the moment English gets involved, suddenly it becomes a tiny language test.
Oh, absolutely. The waiter comes, smiles, and says, "Are you ready to order?" And your brain goes into emergency mode. It's like you studied English for 10 years and forgot every verb in 0.2 seconds.
Yes, and most learners think they're the only ones feeling that way. But honestly, even native speakers get nervous sometimes. Everyone has that moment of, wait, how do I say this in the restaurant way?
Right. Because restaurant English isn't complicated, but it feels formal. It feels like you're supposed to speak politely, beautifully, like you're in a movie.
And that pressure makes people freeze. So today, I want to remind everyone restaurants don't need perfect English. They need clear English.
Yes, short sentences, simple requests, small questions. That's it. You don't need poetic descriptions. You don't need advanced restaurant vocabulary. You only need a few natural, gentle phrases.
Like, could I get this, please? Or could I have a minute? Or what's in this dish? Or is this spicy?
Exactly. These are tiny tools, little keys. Once you know them, you can unlock any restaurant conversation.
There's also something powerful about asking follow-up questions. A lot of English learners feel shy to ask anything, but asking questions actually makes the interaction smoother.
Yes. If the waiter describes something too fast, you can simply say, "Sorry, could you say that again a bit slower?" Not rude, not embarrassing, just human.
Or you can say, so what's the difference between these two dishes? Or which one do people usually order?
Waiters love when you ask these. It feels like a conversation, not an exam.
Let's give listeners a few more natural expressions they can use anywhere in the world.
Good idea. Here's a great one. I'm allergic to. It's so important if you have food sensitivities.
Or could we get a refill? Meaning more water or more drinks.
Yes. And could we get separate checks? Meaning you and your friend want to pay individually.
Another one is, what would you recommend for someone who wants something light? Or something spicy? Or something vegetarian?
And don't forget the lifesaver. Could you explain this dish? Simple, polite, very natural.
Here's a fun phrasal verb. Try out. As in, I want to try out something new today. Meaning, experiment with a new dish.
And cut back. I'm trying to cut back on sugar, meaning reduce it.
And the classic phrase, I'll stick with, like, I'll stick with the pasta. Meaning, you'll stay with your choice.
Yes, it's so natural. Okay, let's give them a few idioms too. One of my favorites. My eyes are bigger than my stomach, meaning you ordered more food than you can actually eat.
I live by that idiom. Every time I order food, I'm like, yes, I am a warrior. I can eat everything. And then halfway through, I'm like, I am weak.
Another great idiom is I'm starving. Not literal, it just means I'm very hungry.
And there's this hit the spot, meaning the food was exactly what you needed.
Restaurants really are emotional places. They're not just about food, they're about choosing, asking, tasting, reacting, sharing, and doing all of that in a second language. That's impressive.
Very impressive. And that's something our listeners should really hear clearly. You are doing something brave. You are communicating, ordering, making decisions, handling money, speaking to strangers, all in English.
Yes, and if you make mistakes, it's fine. Mistakes in restaurants are charming. They make the experience human. Nobody will judge you.
Actually, sometimes your mistakes become funny stories later. Like when I ordered a hot water with no water. I meant hot tea with no sugar. But my brain left the building.
Waiters must see incredible mistakes every day. They're used to it. They don't laugh at you, they laugh with you.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the easier it gets.
Something magical happens when you get comfortable ordering food in English. You suddenly feel more confident in other areas, too.
Yes, restaurants are a training ground. If you can order confidently, you can do anything confidently.
Because ordering requires speaking, listening, deciding, asking, understanding, and interacting socially.
That's basically everything language is.
So, if you're listening right now and you've ever felt nervous in a restaurant, I want you to know something. You're doing great. You're not slow, you're not behind, you're growing.
And we're proud of you.
Truly proud.
Thank you for spending this time with us today.
And thank you for being part of the English Camp family.
If you enjoyed this episode and it helped you feel more confident for your next restaurant adventure, we'd love it if you subscribed and stayed with us.
Take care of yourself.
And we'll see you in the next episode.